Hi, this is Sweet June 2010, coming back at you with another interesting video topic. I I have to say, I want to thank YouTube. I want to thank YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for taking away monetizing opportunities away from people that come on YouTube and um, just being disrespectful and bashing and name calling and just being disrespectful. I'm glad. I'm glad that they did that. I'm. I heard that YouTube is putting limits on its monetization. It's changing some policy on their monetization. If you have videos and you're using foul language, and I guess they said something about political stuff. Um, if you're basically the bashers, basically people coming on here, they said abusive speech. They said abusive speech. They said bad language. If you're using bad language in your videos, abusive speech, and things like that, then they're gonna let you go ahead and play your video, but they're not gonna monetize it. And I say thank you, YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, I really appreciate them for doing that. I'm really happy that they're doing that because these black men, and some black women. I'm not saying it's some black women that bash black men. That come on these people that come on YouTube and they bash other people, talking about people. Um, you know, just humiliating people. It's like what I talked about in my other video, coming on YouTube and just humiliating people and bashing people because of their race. Coming on YouTube and bashing people and humiliating people because of their race, um, and just name calling and just being hateful and just being evil. Then no, I don't think they should be allowed to monetize. I agree with YouTube on that. I agree with YouTube 100%. And I'm glad that they do that because I don't use any foul language in any of my videos. You don't have to use foul language to get your point across. Matter of fact, you'll get your point across even better if you don't use foul language and abusive speech. You get your point across a lot better because people will understand you more, and people will get the gist of what you're saying even more if you don't use the foul language. If you're using foul language and stuff, then pretty much that's all what people are going to focus on, and they're not really gonna they'll get your point, but then they're gonna be focusing on all the other things. And so I just don't think it's a loving thing to do. I don't think it's a loving thing to do for people to come on YouTube and judge and bash, and particularly if you're talking about a certain race of people, a certain segment of the population, and you're putting that whole population into one box and you're calling them names and you're judging them and you're saying mean and evil things about them. And it's just not cool. It's not cool. I think that if you're passionate about what's going on in the black community, which a lot of people claim to be, and I get that. I'm passionate about what's going on in the black community. It's okay to be passionate about what's going on in the black community, and you can talk about the things that's going on in the black community. I mean, you got to keep it real. You can't sugarcoat. But you can talk about those things without coming on YouTube and name calling and bashing and stereotyping, because that's what a lot of these guys are doing. And there's black women that are doing it as well. You can't do that. You can't take a certain percentage of the population and put them all in one group. And that's what a lot of people on YouTube are doing. And it's along with the white people too that are bashing black people. It's anybody that's coming on YouTube and just bashing people and putting people down, and YouTube is just not going to support that. And I agree with them 100% because I was a little frustrated with YouTube before because those people were getting paid. These black men coming on YouTube bashing black women, calling people all kinds of mean and horrible names and stuff, and just being racist and being stereotypical, those guys were getting paid. The ads were paying them, and so I'm like, YouTube is supporting that. And so I'm glad that YouTube took a stand and decided to not support it anymore, because they really shouldn't support it. You should never support anything like that. You should never support someone being humiliated and just abused and bashed and everything like that. Words, like I've said in some of my other videos, words are very powerful. Words hold a lot of power. And so as a result of the bashing, there's a lot of backlash. And that's another thing that they're trying to keep control on, is all the backlash and everything in the YouTube. Like, some people have gotten killed on YouTube because they was beefing with somebody. And so I think that's another thing that YouTube is trying to get a handle on. They're trying to get a handle on the cyberbullying that's going on, and that's not a good thing either. I mean, the person is coming on YouTube and they're giving there and expressing their opinions, even if it means they're bashing people. But then there's people that's coming back to that person and they're threatening them, threatening their family. And at the end of the day, that's not cool either. That's not cool either. It's a lot of people on here on YouTube that I don't agree with, that I get frustrated with, because they're stereotyping people. They're stereotyping black women. There's a lot of black men that come on here that be stereotyping black women, calling black women all kind of horrible names and stuff like that. And it's a lot. I get, they ruffle my feathers a little bit, but I'm not going to go as far as to threaten them and all that kind of stuff. But first of all, I don't have time for that. I ain't got time to be trying to chase down somebody on YouTube because of what they said. It doesn't make sense. Like I said, I like to think I'm a logical thinker, and it just doesn't make sense to me to do that. First of all, I don't have time for that. I got to work and I got other things I have to do. I don't have time. And then second of all, it's not right. It's just not right. You can't, how are you going to go after someone for expressing their opinion? And that's another thing I think YouTube needs to stop, is when a person does a video, like, as positive as I try to keep my channel, I get some people on here that want to talk about me and call me names and stuff. And I think they need to put a stop to that too. I think when a person comes on YouTube and like, if I'm doing a video and someone wants to comment in my comment section and they want to call me all kind of names and stuff, YouTube should just instantly just delete that comment off rip. I shouldn't have to go in and delete this person or delete the comment. I shouldn't have to go in and do it myself, because that means I have to, if I go in and do it myself, sometimes I have to actually scroll down and especially particularly videos that I've gotten a lot of hits on, I have to, and a lot of comments on, I have to kind of scroll down the comments, and I have to read the comments, and I have to delete the person or delete the comment that they said. And it's a process. It's actually a process to go through and do that, particularly if you have a video where you have a lot of comments. And so I think that what YouTube should do is that when a person comes in, like you do a video, and then that person comes in and wants to say something negative about you, or just cussing at you and just being abusive with their speech and making insults and stuff, YouTube should just automatically and they're cussing a lot of times, and in that case, YouTube should just instantly just delete that person's comment. Because it's like this: if you can't come on YouTube and agree to disagree, if like there's videos like, say, Tommy Sotomayor, I'm gonna throw his name out there for a minute. There's times where I've watched some of his videos and I've commented, and I've let him know that I didn't agree with what he said, and I will let him know why I didn't agree with it. And I'm the type of person, I like to combat ignorance with logic. I like to combat ignorance with logic. So if you're saying something that I feel is ignorant, I like to combat that with logic. And so that's basically what I do. I don't come on there and call him names. I don't cuss him out. I don't say bad things about his family or his daughter or whatever situation like that. To me, it's not a loving thing to do. And I'm not about that. I'm going to agree to disagree. If I don't agree with what's something that you said, I'm going to say that I disagree with you, and I'm going to let you know why I disagree with you. I'm going to give you a logical explanation as to why I disagree with what you said. But I'm not going to hurl insults at you, because an intelligent person doesn't need to do that. And if you are an intelligent person, then when you disagree with someone, why do you have to hurl insults at them? Because first of all, it's childish. As I said in some of my other videos, I work at a daycare, and I work with 3-year-olds. And that's what my 3-year-olds do. My 3-year-olds do that. When my 3-year-olds, they get mad at another one of their classmates, they start calling them names. And sometimes that involves a cuss word, believe it or not. They start calling them names, And that's what children do. Children do that. If they don't agree, or they're fighting over something, or they want something, then they're going to call names. They have a disagreement with another child, they're going to call names. So that's what children do. Children do things like that. But adults don't do that. Adults agree to disagree. Adults are supposed to be mature and logical people. And when you are a mature and logical person, then you can agree to disagree. You can say I don't agree, and you can give a logical explanation as to why you don't agree, and just leave it at that. You don't have to hurl insults at the person. You don't have to call the person names. Even if that person is saying abusive things, you don't have to stoop down to their level. Even if it's a situation to where that person on that video has said some abusive things and all that. Why stoop down to their level? Why would you stoop down to their level? My thought is, I'm not going to stoop down to your level. And I'm going to be the bigger person. And I'm going to let you know that, no, I don't agree with you. And I'm going to give you a logical explanation as to why I don't agree with you. I don't hurl insults. And it's not a loving thing to do anyway, to talk about someone. I come on here and I try to, express my opinion or whatever, or talk about, and I don't use foul language. I don't bash people. I state the facts, and I might throw my opinion in there. But all in all, at the end of the day, I don't bash people. And I don't come on here cussing and going on. So there's no reason for someone to come at me like that. There's no reason for someone to come at me and call me names and hurl insults at me. I guess they think it's supposed to hurt my feelings, but it doesn't. At the end of the day, it doesn't hurt my feelings, because I don't even know you, and you ain't paying my bills anyway. So, but it's just the principle of the thing. That just lets me know that the immaturity of that person, that person has low self-esteem, and they don't have any maturity. Because if you're a mature person that has a self-esteem, then you wouldn't do that. Because you can express yourself. I don't have a problem with people disagreeing with me. It's okay to disagree with me. It's okay to disagree. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. But disagree with respect. Because if I came on your channel and I watched the video and I didn't agree with it, I would respect you. I would give you that same respect. I would explain to you, give you a logical explanation why I didn't agree with what you said. And I'm not going to call you names and hurl insults at you. And so, and sometimes I'm looking at some videos and I might be thinking something about that person, but I'm not going to say it to them. Because I'm a Christian and I don't do that. And so, I think when YouTube sees a comment like that, they should just automatically just delete the comment, because then that'll let people know that if you can't comment respectively, then you don't need to be commenting at all, and that's going to force people to make more mature, intelligent comments, And that'll stop, because that's a form of bullying. It's a form of bullying when you come on somebody's channel and you call them names and cuss at them and all that. That is a form of bullying, and YouTube needs to put a stop to all that. I think that YouTube, yeah, they're doing a great job with the limiting the monetization, and I'm very happy with them for doing that. But they need to take it a little further and delete some of those nasty comments from people, you know. And even some cases, people are coming on and they're making threats. Stuff like that should never be allowed. You should never allow someone to threaten another person on YouTube. I don't care who they are. No, you know, nobody should have the right to threaten someone else on YouTube. So that stuff should be eliminated as well. And so maybe they're going to be working on that. But this is a great start, YouTube. Thank you. And I appreciate you, YouTube, for doing this. It's a good start. I don't know if this is going to affect some of my videos. I try to keep my channel as clean as possible. And, you know, I don't know. People, you know, some people will debate that it's censoring freedom of speech. Like, you know, people say, well, they're censoring people's freedom of speech. But at the same time, if they own the company, the owner of the company has the right to do what they want to do. I mean, at the end of the day, Google is a company. YouTube is owned by Google, and Google is a company. So Google, whoever owns Google, has the right to make that call. They have the right to make that decision. It's their company, and they have the right to make that decision. You know, and their advertisers have the right to not want to be a part of your video, not put their advertisement on their video. If you're being, you know, disrespectful and you cussing and all that stuff, they have the right to not want to put their advertisement on your video, because that can interfere with their sales. If they're putting their advertisement on your video and you cussing a certain segment of the population out, you're humiliating and bashing a certain segment of the population, or that certain segment of the population may not buy their product because they feel like you're supporting it. So I can kind of understand from a business perspective. I kind of understand why they're doing that as well from a business perspective, because if I own a business, I'm not going to want to put my advertisement on your video and you bashing people and humiliating people and all that kind of stuff, because then the people that's watching it, they're going to say, well, why is her company supporting that? Well, I'm not going to buy their products. And then on something, they're boycotting your products, and that's going to cause you to lose money. So from a business perspective, and a marketing perspective, I can understand why the advertisers are doing that as well. So let me know in the comments section what you guys think about these new regulations that YouTube has. I think it's a great idea. I love it. It's gonna maybe cut down on some of the bashers. You know, maybe at the end of the day, they're not gonna care whether they get paid or not. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about it. I think it's a great idea. More interesting videos coming up. Peace and love. Sweet June 2010.